Well, we met online, and I think the funny part about it was that earlier that day I had skipped work to go to the beach with my friend who was done with school. She was a teacher,
It was
June. It was a rare moment in San Francisco where it was really hot out, and we went to the beach, and I fell asleep and got completely sunburned, but in a very awkward pattern where I had my hat over my face, so then half of my face was sunburned, my legs were sunburned, and it was one of the worst sunburns I have ever experienced in my life, and to this day. And I got home, and I'm supposed to go on this date.
Because we met online and
we chatted. We had planned it, and I said to my roommate, I can't go on this date. I was, had cold packs on my legs already at this point. This is only hours after. And she's like, you have to go. You have to go. So I pulled down my hat again, tried to pretend that the sunburn didn't exist. And we met at a bar.
Dear Mom, if you're familiar in San Francisco.
I picked it randomly because I had gone there a month before. I didn't even know if it was good. And I walk in and I see Jessica, and there's this guy that's like hitting on her. He's, and I'm like, wait a minute here. And
we were over at the jukebox because Janelle wasn't there yet, and this guy was like, hey,
I was
do you
probably
want to pick
late.
out some songs? And I was like, sure, let's pick out some songs.
And so then I was like, okay, I want to be cool, so I want to be nice to the guy. And so, try to chat the guy up, but also make it clear that he needs to move it along. Which, it ended up.
That worked out.
I think it ended up working out pretty well.
Yeah.
So then.
Then we had a beer. I didn't notice the sunburn at all at this point. Like, I had no idea. It was like, it's like kind of dark in that place, and I was also, I don't know, not like embarrassed that she found me there like with some guy, but then I could tell that she was like a little miffed. So, but then our date progressed, so like we have no idea what we talked about, at least that I remember. And so we moved on to the Monk's Kettle to get dinner. So we had another beer and split something, I think, like a burger. And there was like, it's kind of funny because Janelle can be a little bit formal when she's like first meeting someone. And so I took the formal as she wasn't really into it, but I was like, but we're like progressing the date. So clearly she's like somewhat into it. But at Monk's Kettle, like, the tables are just a little bit long, and so I was like, oh, do you want to come, like, sit by me? Because she was having trouble hearing me. And I didn't realize at that time that she does have, like, a little bit of hearing loss, so that's part of it. But then, like, she was like, oh, like, once you asked me to sit next to you, I realized that you liked me. And I also realized when she said yes that she really liked me. So we, like, kind of, like, touched a little bit and had dinner, and then our date progressed again to Dolores Park, where then I like really, she was still being kind of formal, and at that point we were like laying in the grass and it was dark, and all of a sudden Janelle was like, you're really hot, and I was like, yes, I got it. And so we had our first kiss, and the rest of it gets a little less than PG rated, but I stole her and we went home together.
Well, okay. The truth is that at the time I was living still with my ex.
Yes, that's right.
And we'd been broken up for a few months at this point, and
strange decision to live together.
Well, I had found the place and I was trying to, dig my heels into staying in the place and kick her out, but she felt entitled to the place. Anyway, so we had agreed that we wouldn't bring anyone home while we were living together.
And in the moment when
it was blocks. Dolores Park was like really close to my house, and Jessica was living in the Oakland Hills at the time, which was
quite
about at least a 40-minute drive. So I had to then, at that point, I had to tell her. I made this comment, which was that I hope you'll consider this a yellow flag and not a red flag. but I'm living with my ex still. And she actually took it quite well. I think the humor
The
was
yellow
helpful.
flag was like perfect. It's like medical speak.
Yes.
And, yeah.
And I was like, proceed with caution, but this is going to change. So then she's like, well, do you want to come to Oakland? And I was like, okay, that sounds great. She thought that she was kidnapping me.
I mean, if you like knew where I lived and we'd been in the car for already 30 minutes and then you're on this dark, windy road, like on the dark, windy road, I looked over and I was like, do you feel like I'm kidnapping you at this point? Because like I feel like I'm kidnapping you.
You weren't as scary as you thought.
That's good.
So that was the story. And
Although I'll say I noticed the sunburn officially the next morning, and it was bad. And I was like, oh my god, I don't know how we had sex with you having such bad sunburn.
it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
So that was the story of the first date.